Hi everyone, it's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate, and kittens are out again. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, folks. Once they get spayed and neutered, they can go to PetSmart into one of the cages. Heaven forbid they're going to be put in a cage. You know, there was this dude that made this really rude comment. Well, he made two rude comments and I got rid of him. But one of the comments he made was on the video of me singing with the kittens, and he said something to the effect of, you know, if my wife saw me do that, she would have a fit. Meaning putting the kittens in a cage. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously. My friend Susan and I were talking about this. Like, why can't people just be nice? Really? Why can't people just be nice? You know, and I had a question from one of the subscribers. They made a comment and they said, why do these comments bother me so much that I should just let it go, just delete them, don't worry about them? Well, the fact of the matter is, the reason that it bothers me so much, the reason that I get so upset with it is because it's rude, number one. It's disrespectful, number two. And it's not just pointed at me. There's other people in the community that also are struggling. And hang on. Okay. Had to pick up the big cat's dry food. I forgot about that. And I heard the pan going clink, clink, clink. I thought, oh, great. Either they're going to eat that or they're going to puke all over the place because they can't really digest that big cat food yet. Like some of the pâtés and stuff that's just plain pâté. I don't care if they eat that or if there's Friskies or something in one of the dishes. But the actual dry food is a bit rich for them. So they eat that. They usually either have diarrhea or they throw up or both. So, you know, I did make a video in response to this guy's comments because he just pissed me off so much. Because I just wanted to address that. Like, they're in a crate. Okay. So, you know, the people that are having a problem with the kittens being in a crate, do you have a problem with the kittens being in cages, in rescues, shelters, PetSmart, Petco? They're in there for... Do you hear that right now? Imagine if I wasn't here. Imagine... Okay, so I went away today. We took Jack, because I want to give an update on Jack. We took Jack to PetSmart. I had to be there, check-in. They've changed the routine a little bit, so now check-in is 12:30 to 1, and then you pick them up at 4. So, we went over there. We got there about a quarter to 1, I guess. And I took him in and everything. And I just got back around, I'm going to say 5 o'clock or so. Guys, will you calm down? We just got back around 5 o'clock or so. So that's what I mean. So I mean we left here. I actually left the apartment at like 25 after 12. And then I had to take Jack down to the car and everything. So we're just going to say 12:30 to 1:30, 1:30, 2:30, 2:30, 3:30, 3:30, 4:30, 4:30, 5:30, 35 hours. Can you imagine those kittens being here for 5 hours on their own without any supervision? Can you imagine that? I don't want to imagine that. These kittens have had, you know, you see Jesse gets in the trash can. Yeah, I guess I'd probably have to duct tape it shut so he couldn't get in the trash can. But Jesse gets in the trash can. He had that plastic the other day. I mean, there's so many things that they can get into. There's so many things that could happen to them. You know, what if they ticked off one of the big cats and the big cats swatted them? Because I have seen them swat the kittens. You know, they could climb under something, they could knock something down, something could fall on them. They could get trapped in under, you know, in something. Like I said, my place is a mess right now because I was going to move, and then so I still have boxes packed, unpacked, you know, in various stages of unpacking and packing, and you know, because now I'm just going to stay at this point because with everything going on at the federal level, I'm not going to move somewhere and then risk having funding cut and then I'm out on the streets. So I'm like, with amongst everything else, I'm also trying to fix my apartment up and get things reorganized here. So there's so many things that could happen. I mean, when I come home, I could open the door. They could dart out. There's just so many things that could happen. That's why they're in a crate. They're in a crate for their own safety. I mean, nobody bitches about cats being in crates and carriers and cages and such in rescues and shelters and PetSmart. There's no difference. This is a foster situation. These are not my owned cats. Now, if they were my owned cats, it'd be a little different. But they're not. And there's 5 of them. And they wreak havoc and they go nuts. The only reason I have them out right now is because they didn't get out earlier this morning. Because I didn't have time this morning. I had my therapy. Feline Solutions just changed their check-in operation or procedure. So I already had my appointment, my therapy appointment for this week. And that was at 11. So I was up like at 7 o'clock this morning trying to get everything done before, you know, get everything done, get a shower, get everything. And they were in the crate literally screaming. Aurora screams. She's like, ah, 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 ah. I mean, that's what she does. Just, it's like a baby crying and crying and crying and crying. She will not shut up. Giving her food doesn't help. You know, talking to her doesn't help. I even got her out, put her in a carrier, or put a towel over the carrier for a little bit, trying to calm her down. That didn't help. Nothing helps. They have toys in there. I cleaned their crate out. Everything was, they had a clean litter box. Nothing helped. I fed them, they ate, and she started screaming again because she wanted out. So I'm trying to, I didn't even eat. I went to there's a Sprouts. I don't know if anybody has Sprouts. It's like a new store around here, but it's kind of like a health store thing. I went into Sprouts and got a yogurt parfait because I hadn't even eaten yet. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But like I said, the lights at the end of the tunnel, they can get spayed and neutered. I have to contact the founder of Feline Solutions, and she sets up the spay neuters. So hopefully everybody's going to get done very soon. And then once they get done, then they can go into PetSmart because they won't be there Kayla said they can be there like 3 weeks, and she said they're not going to be there that long. So now, let's see. I do have a really, really short video. Nika is still at PetSmart. She's still waiting for her forever home, which is sad, but she's very calm. She just was chilling out in her crate. Now, it was the end of the day, so they were packing everything up and they were going to put her back, I guess, in her regular cage in the store. And she seems, she was, when you see the footage, that's why there's nothing in her crate. everything had been removed because she's going to go back into her regular crate area. But she's still there. And now let's talk about Jack a little bit. So this just gets more and more interesting the further along we go. So let me show you Jack. He's actually, I put him back in his crate. Okay, so here's our croaky boy. Hi, Jack. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack. So everybody can see he is much better. Kayla doesn't know if he still has worms or not. She didn't have a chance to test the sample at PetSmart, so she'll do that at her home, because I think she had a couple samples from different foster cats. She said his nose is like the last time she went, she had to basically flush his nasal cavities out because they were so filled with gunk. Now you can see, I mean, he's looking, you can see that he doesn't have that coming out. She said he's getting better. You can see his face. She said she said out of all the cats that they had that day, the two that behaved the best were Jack. You're sitting in your food. The two that behaved the best were Jack and another one. And she says she just loves Jack. She said he's just a real nice cat. He's got a really nice temperament, which is really funny, you know, compared to how he was when he was outside. So that just really shows that he did not want to be out there. He wanted to be in. And he has some food in there. He's still not drinking for me, so I just add water to his pate. Yeah, Jack. Good boy. Good boy, Jack. He has no problem putting into a carrier. He goes in his carrier. He just travels nice. He doesn't fuss. He's just like really laid back. She's just a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy, aren't you, Jack? Yeah. So, I don't know. He might need to have another course of dewormer. Not sure yet. Until Kayla runs the sample. He has to continue getting his nose drops. You coming down, bud? Okay, Jack. Okay. You want to come down a little bit, buddy? Yeah. You want to walk around a little bit? So he's, there he is. So he's got to continue his nose drops and his doxy and his fortiflora, the Proviable. We got pee pads today. We got a bag of cat food for him, dry food for him, and what else? There's something else too. I can't remember. So he's all set up. So thank you everyone who, I know Cat Mama donated some of that stuff, so shout out to Cat Mama. I think Catitude donated something too, and Chris might have donated something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who donated what, because it's all going to Kayla, so I don't know, but I do appreciate whoever donated anything. I do appreciate that. So he's getting better. He's doing much better. And Kayla was able to look in his mouth and check his teeth today, and she estimates his age to be between 6 and 10 years old. So he is an older boy. And I mean, I'm not sure when he'll get neutered. Maybe and in 2 more weeks, if he continues to improve, maybe he'll be able to go get neutered. So he's doing really good. He's doing really good. Aren't you, Jack? Huh? You doing good, Jack? Jack. Are you going to do a Jack roll? Huh? Are you going to do a Jack roll? Good boy. Good boy, Jack. Yeah. Good boy, Jack. Good boy. Jack's a good boy. Okay. So I'm going to just let him hang out on the floor a little bit because I think he's, the kittens are in the other room and Rogue is outside, so I think that'll be okay. If one of the other cats comes in here, I'll put him back in. Uh-oh, here comes Mr. Boo. Here come Mr. Boo. Okay, so I wasn't able to get Mr. Boo. Because Mr. Boo came, looked at Jack, jumped over Jack, and ran into the back room. So I wasn't able to get any footage of Mr. Boo. But Mr. Boo had 2 videos up, so all you Boo lovers got to see him. So I want to talk a little bit about Jack and what the discussion that I had with Kayla today. And he's just laying down there on the floor. He's laying by my feet. So I talked to her. Okay, so I talked to Kayla today about this shit that was recommended by a shit person. And she told me, so just for everyone's information, it really is shit. It doesn't work. It doesn't really kill worms. It might kill some, but it doesn't kill all the worms. So that person on that channel who claims to be an experienced rescuer of over 8 years, grifter. Her cats probably have worms. Because this is not doing it. If this is all she's using, that's what she told me, that's all she was using, so. So, what Kayla uses is a product called, it's Panicure, but Panicure is actually Safeguard. Safeguard is a goat dewormer. I think they also have it for cattle. I don't know. But you can get a great big thing of it. I had that on my Amazon wish list back when Jack was out in the streets. And, for that other person who has come at me about Jack and, she didn't like the way I treated Jack and I should take him to a vet and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, if you didn't want to donate $500 to take him to a vet, you could have at least bought the dewormer off of there. That was, I think, 30 something. If you're able to buy supplies for the beige granny who doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground, you could have at least footed the bill for a $30 bottle of goat dewormer. You see where I'm going with all of this? I mean, this is like Kayla and I had this. We had this. Whoops. Hang on. Jack just disappeared. Yeah, Jack was looking in the living room because he was watching the kittens. He's an intact male, and the kittens are 14 weeks old, I think, roughly. So that's what, 8, like they're coming up on like 4 months old, 3 months, 4 months. 4 months old female kittens can get pregnant. So I don't want any, we don't want any of that, because I don't know, with him being intact, he might go after either Maleficent or Aurora. So I'm just keeping him away from them. Again, that's why we use crates. So anyway, what I was saying is, this is not useful. They need something stronger than that, because Panicure hits all of the worms, not just roundworms, and this isn't even, because Kayla said she looked at it and she's like, yeah, she does not recommend that at all. So, like I was saying, that other person, the person that adopted Valentino, the person that was coming at me and telling me I wasn't, that, all the horrible things that I did to Jack, and I didn't care for him, and I was mean to him, and and she's just, I don't know what kind of bug she has up her ass, but, I hope she gets it, dislodged at some point, because she's not a very pleasant person to be around at this point. So, yeah, again, it's easy to sit and judge people, isn't it? It's easy to talk shit about people, isn't it? But did any of you step up? No, you did not. Kayla said she tells people, how did she say that? Every shit talking comment, because she's on Facebook, she said, like, she tells people every shit talking comment they give is going to cost you $50 in donations. And I like that, because, like we discussed, it's not easy. And she's going to watch this video. I told her, I said, I'm going to do this video. I said, and I'm going to send it to you, and then you can comment on it. She said, yeah, I'll comment on it. Because she'll tell you, oh no! They just knocked down all of my medications that I have on my coffee table. Deep breath, Wanda, deep breath. And I just told him, you don't behave, you're going back in the crate. This is why they're in a crate. This is why they're in a crate. I don't know how, look, if they were dogs, if they were puppies, small dog, nobody would say shit about it. But because they're cats, it's a big deal. Can you say hi to your bestie? I know. Look at Mr. Boo's face. Oh, Mr. Boo. Mr. Boo says, please, Mama. Mama, please. Look at his face. He said, please save me. They're crazy. Oh my God. Okay. So, yeah, as far as the treatment of Jack, like, Kayla was saying, first of all, the cats aren't ours. They aren't ours. The resources for us are not there. The resources should be provided by our York SPCA, and they're not. They're supposed to have this community cat initiative thing, which they have it on paper. They have it on their website. Oh, yeah, we have a community cat initiative. And if you need, we'll give you every month, we'll give you a bag of food and some wet food, and we'll help you, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't do anything. Nobody gets anything from them. Nothing. They wouldn't even take poor Tora when Tora had the bloody paws. They wouldn't even take him. I had to figure out how to help him myself. It's not easy. And people like Nunya that just think that, Nunya got, here's the thing. She wants to badmouth me, and she wants to badmouth Jack. She wants to badmouth me about how I treated Jack. Just you remember, Nunya, who the fuck took care of your cat? Who took care of Valentino? who brought him in when he was outside in the snow with raw, ragged paws? Poor Jack would have been in here if it hadn't been for Valentino needing to be basically the triage. He needed to be in here because he was in worse shape than Jack at the time. So, as Cat Mama says, hashtag haters look in the mirror. Because you want to badmouth me, you can badmouth me all you want, but the fact remains, the reason you have that damn cat is because of me. And the reason that he was alive and able to be adopted by you is because of me and Feline Solutions. So maybe you need to just stop bad-mouthing both me and Feline Solutions, shut the fuck up and step off. Or step up and try to help. Because I'm really tired of the shit that comes out of people's mouths. I don't understand. You know, Susan and I talked about this. I got to go back in here. Is he the bad kitty? This is a bad kitty. Yeah, this is a bad kitty. She's cute, but she's naughty. She's a bad, naughty, mischievous little kitty. You ready to go over your siblings? Okay. I don't know. They're knocking stuff down left and right. So, you know, like, you know, the reality is that these are not our cats. These aren't our cats. And poor Jack, I didn't know he was that old. I didn't know. And when I told Kayla, I was talking to Kayla about how he was when he first came here. I said, he used to come at me. I mean, I have videos. Of course, I didn't put them up because I don't think Mr. YouTube would like me showing videos of the cat, you know, drawing the red liquid stuff on my hands. But yeah, I have videos that I was filming, like the Temptations, the video where I was trying to get him on the scale. I was trying to lure him onto the scale with the Temptation, and he went bonkers and, you know, grabbed my hand and he did a number on my hand. I mean, it makes sense now that I don't think it was, I think he probably, with tapeworm, he probably was just super hungry, because that's when they have tapeworms, you know, because the tapeworms take all the nutrients. That's the idea of a tapeworm. That's why they lose, you know, that's why they're hungry all the time, but they lose weight. And then I guess they can gain some weight as the tapeworm gets bigger, if the tapeworm gets big enough. But anyway. But, you know, there's no way that, because Kayla said there's no way that, you know, you'd have to find a rescue to take him. And she said the problem is the rescues are all overwhelmed. Now, maybe that isn't the case in every area, but it is here. And, you know, she also added that the only reason that they're helping is because I'm willing to foster him. Because I'm willing to foster him and keep him in and isolate him and, you know, care for him. That's the only reason that they're helping. Otherwise, they wouldn't take him in. Because you have to have him in. I mean, you can't, it's really hard to treat him outside. I mean, you saw the videos where I tried to treat him outside. And, like, I didn't know what he had. And she agreed with me. You know, she said, it's like, you just don't bring cats in from outside because you don't know. Do they have FELV? Do they have FIV? You know, are they going to fight with the other cats? Or, you know, they could have a bad respiratory infection. They could make the other cats sick. You just don't know. So, those are the challenges of trying to treat these colony cats. And so, you know, yeah, I understand, I get what the person was saying, like, you know, you're doing the best you can, you shouldn't feel bad about it, you shouldn't, you should just ignore it, you know, if haters going to hate, just let them do whatever they're going to do, and you do what you do. But again, it comes back to, it's disrespectful. And it is hurtful. It is hurtful, and it is nasty. And people already carry a lot of, for me, it's about the trauma. People carry a lot of guilt and trauma because the people that are caring for these cats tend to be empathetic. No, oh, like I was like, okay, so what I was trying to say before they knock something else down, they're going to have to go back in their crate. They just are too wild. They are honestly too wild. But, it kind of comes down to that. It comes down to, people already feel bad enough. The people that tend to do this work, they're doing it on their own time and dime in many cases. They tend to be empathetic. They tend to be empathetic. They tend to be caring. They tend to be compassionate individuals that don't want to see things suffer. Now, of course, there are the grifters, and we know who you are. There are the grifters, and there's also the Munchausen by proxy folk. We know who they are too, don't we? The ones that the cats never seem to improve. Constantly at the vet. The vets never seem to be able to do anything right. We're always complaining about the vets. People keep telling them, maybe you need to isolate the cat. Maybe you need to cover the wound. And they're, oh no, we can't do that. Because that would mean they get better. And if they get better, that means I can't grift for more money. We know those people. They exist. Unfortunately, they exist in rescue. Well, we're not talking about them. We're talking about the people that genuinely care and are trying to do good things for their community. So there's already that level of trauma of seeing horrific things all the time and not really being able to do anything to stop it. Not being able to help as much as you'd like to. So there's that level of guilt as well. So, yes, I understand what that person is saying, that you probably should just ignore it, but it's kind of hard to ignore. And I know that you care, and I know that you mean well, and I do appreciate that, and I'm not trying to, that's why I'm not going to call the person out by name. Because I know that the comment came from a caring place, and I do appreciate that. But I just wanted to say, I just wanted to address that and say that this is why it is so infuriating when you get these comments. It's just like, it's just like the people, these four people that, and probably more, but 4 really active haters that keep talking about how horrible I treated Jack. I don't own this cat. I have no responsibility to him. And again, if you really cared, you would help. You would. And I even question, my either bigger question is, if you hate me, if you hate what I do, if you hate the content so much, why do you keep watching? Why? I don't watch those channels. I don't. I had somebody send me an email about the video, the video where they were going on about how, I never said anything mean about anybody or any channel ever. And I don't think it's right that we should talk about people's past and their personal things and personal discussions. No, but it was okay to collab with your pink grifting friend and shove your nose firmly up her ass and then talk about my mental health issues and how I'm some kind of psycho that is weaponizing my mental health issues in order to take down the Pink Grifters channel, which all of it was completely untrue. And I really, really dislike YouTube for them not stepping up and doing something about that, because they should have done something about that. I was named by name, and my mental health issues were made light of. I was mocked. It was a mockery. It was a mockery of me and legitimate mental health issues. I never did that to them. Not until they started in on me. And then I felt like I wanted to defend myself, because I'm not going to just sit back and let them say ignorant shit about me and not say, hey, this isn't accurate. But again, you're going back, Jack had issues bigger than what I could handle. I did what I could with what I had at hand. Sorry if that wasn't enough for you. No, actually, sorry, not sorry if that wasn't enough for you. Because again, you can just all go sit on a cactus and rotate. And fuck yourself while you're at it. Because you have no idea. I mean, Feline Solutions has been wonderful. They have been incredibly helpful and supportive. And this is a relatively, this isn't a really big rescue. This is a relatively small rescue, and they're doing what they can for their community. They're not getting buku dollars from Best Friends Animal Society like our local York SPCA is, like Second Chance Animal Society, animal whatever shelter is in Columbia, Missouri. Just saying. $2,000 to them is shit. You know how much Best Friends Animal Society pumps into these shelters? Do you have any idea? Because they are determined to have all these shelters go no-kill. That's their agenda, and they're pushing it. And it's hurting cats like Jack, because they won't take them in. Because Best Friends Animal Society spins this narrative that cats are better off outside. They can survive and thrive, as our esteemed director of York SPCA says. Well, Jack survived, but he definitely didn't thrive, now did he? And how many more cats like him are out there? I really wonder. Like I said before, I don't see a lot of feral cats. I don't know, where this is, where all these feral cats are. And that person on that other channel who is the TNR advocate or expert or whatever she calls herself, who's actually a photographer. And I'm not dumping on anybody that does TNR. I think it's great if you want to go out and you want to help your community and you want to do TNR. But what I don't like is the misinformation that's being given, because I did research. I read the interviews. And it's the same, it's Best Friends Animal Society spiel over and over and over again. You can't adopt the cats out. There's so many of them that just will not be socialized. And they they go out and they kill all the wildlife. Okay, well, they do kill some wildlife. But you have to look at where they're at, too. Like here, in the city, you know what they're killing in the city? Starlings and sparrows that are not even, that they're not native. They're not indigenous species. And they are detrimental to the environment and to the songbirds. Then we have rats and mice. We have cockroaches. We have squirrels. We have, well, I don't even see rabbits. I mean, I know we have them. Maybe in the park areas we'd see them. Possums I see. But I've never seen the cats really go after any of the possums, except Jack. And he probably was doing that because, you know, he had been an indoor cat. He's probably like, what the hell is that thing? So, you know, you have to put on your little critical thinking caps and you have to do your research, and you have to listen to what people say. And when people are saying things like, you know, the cats are fine out there. Yeah, they're going to say that because they're as far as I can tell now, I may have the wrong shelter, and if I do have the wrong shelter, I apologize for that. But from as far as I can tell, I think I have the right shelter because there is a Second Chance Animal Shelter in Columbia, Missouri. And I'm assuming that's the one. And that's kind of interesting to me too, because that just shows how big a hypocrite the pink grifter is, because she was on my channel talking about how much she dislikes no-kill shelters. And we both sat here and talked about our dislike for Best Friends Animal Society. So, I guess when there's money involved, though, we change our mind. But, you know, as far as his Best Friends Animal Society, just let me tell you one other thing. In Adams County, which is just like bordering York, they actually gave $40,000 for free spay and neuters for the citizens of that county. That's a lot. But you see what they're doing, though? Do you see what they're doing? They're pushing community cats, TNR, colonies. They're pushing that because they don't want the cats in. It's very insidious if you actually break it down. They don't want those cats in the shelters. Why, you may ask? Let me tell you. Because out of all the animals that come into a shelter, cats is the biggest population that get, specifically outdoor cats, is the biggest population that gets euthanized. Because there's this misconception that every cat that's outside is feral. Even the scared strays. Jack was a scared stray. He wasn't feral. I mean, I knew he wasn't feral. But they take time and energy to work with, and they don't want to put that in because that takes away from profits. Best Friends Animal Society, I looked into them. I even contacted them. At one point, I even contacted them thinking, okay, well, I'll give them a chance because we were looking to see if we could maybe, and I mean we, like Elsbeth and I, we were looking to see how could we possibly do some kind of a program here and help fund the people that are being burdened basically with the care of these cats. I couldn't even get through to them. They wanted nothing to do with me. They didn't want to talk to me. They didn't want to help me. Nothing. Just blew me off altogether. It's like, well, if you have an animal control, if you have an animal, we only work with animals. Like, why? Why? If you want to help, it comes back to that whole idea of the human-animal bond. The animal-human bond is interchangeable. You have to support the people to support the animals. You can't do it the other way around. You can't support the animals to support the people. It doesn't work that way. Because the animals can't do anything themselves. You have to support the people. And Best Friends does not do that. And I want people to understand that. Because that's a harsh reality. They are making it so much more difficult for people to save these cats. And they're also taking away funds that could go to like an organization like Feline Solutions. And Feline Solutions, they don't, I mean, they're not, just because something is actually, they shouldn't even be, it should, we need to really call it what it is. You know, limited admission and open admission shelters. Open admission shelters are basically like Feline Solutions. Limited admission is like York SPCA. Because Feline Solutions will basically take any cat, take a chance on any cat. I mean, at least in my experience, they'll take a chance on any cat. As long as you're willing to help them and foster for them. Now, does it mean that cat might have to be euthanized? That doesn't mean that, because, you know, sometimes shit happens, but it's not their intent. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to give everybody an update with Jack, and Nika, and the kittens. And, you know, again, just bring home, this is the reality of colony management. This is the reality of trying to care for these cats. They're going to lock me away. They're going to... Yes, Jack, they are. They're going to take me away. Will you stop? I don't know what they're doing. They are just wild. So I'm going to end it there because, you know, I think in a minute or two, the ceiling's probably going to fall on my head because they're just basically demolishing the apartment as we speak. Let's not knock that down again, Jesse. Is this who I think it is? Let me see. I'm going to check the tail. I have to check under the tail because Jesse and Aurora look so much alike. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Jesse. Hi. Hi. He says, I'm a little beastie. I'm a little beastie. I'm a little beastie. I'm going to get adopted. I'm going to get adopted. So, Catitude said... Catitude left a comment under one of Jesse's videos, and she said that they're going to have to put a card for Jesse that says, you know, hi, say, hi, this is Jesse. Ow! Well, that's not very nice, is it? Huh? Was that very nice? I don't think so. I don't think that was very nice. No, I don't think that was very nice to bite. What the heck was that? Something just broke. They found the wand with the little Sissel mouse on the end. And they're running through the apartment, dragging it behind them. And it's smacking against the cat dishes, the ceramic cat dishes, and that's the ding, ding, ding. So anyway, what was I saying about Jessie? Okay, so Jessie, so Catitude left a comment, it was really funny. And she said that when Jessie goes up for adoption, they're going to put a little tag on Jessie's cage and say, this is Jessie. He comes with a locking trash can. I thought that was great. So I'm going to leave it there. So Jack is on the mend, you know, so to, you know, give a quick summary of this crazy video. I don't know why I do these when, do you hear that? I don't know why I do these when the kittens are out. It's probably not a good idea, but again, it's kind of like, oh, okay, so now you can see the reality. This is why they're in a crate. This is why. Can you imagine if I tried to sleep with that going on? I would be up and down all freaking night. So, Nika is still up for adoption. The kittens are are going to get spayed and neutered. I need to contact Carol for that and get that set up. And Jack is better. So, yay. That's our little update. And I want to thank everyone for hanging out and being part of the pandemonium and chaos that ensues whenever kittens come out of their crate. You know, thank you to our wonderful community, because we got so many goodies here for Jack. You know, he's got Proviable, Fortiflora, dry food, pee pads. I don't know what else was donated. We do need wet food. I will say that. I'm just going to give a plug for that. We do need wet food. I think lysine. I think somebody donated lysine, maybe. But we do need wet food for him, because he likes the Friskies fish flavors. Oh, I think saline. I think Kitten donated some saline spray, maybe. I think. Excuse me. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's the update. So everything's rolling along, and hopefully we can, you know, by next visit, it'll be pretty good. So thanks everyone for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for meow. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get this bad little kitten. I'm going to get you. I'm going to reach down there and get you. Oh no, Mr. Boo. Look at poor Mr. Boo. Poor Mr. Boo's like, help. Mr. Boo's hiding in the bathroom. Mr. Boo's so done with kittens. And you can see the chaos. Look at the chaos in here. Look. There they go. See? This is what they had. Ugh. They had this and they were running maniacally around with it. Boop. You guys are going to get spayed and neutered, and then you're going to find a new home before you completely demolish mine.